Hey everyone, it's Sprout here and welcome back to another tip video for Badlanders. In this video I'm going to give you my top 10 tips for the new FPP map/mode. Now these tips should help you in a way to get better at first person and specifically Red Beach base, whatever it's called. I keep forgetting its name completely, but the new FPP map, just double check here. Red Beach base, yeah, I was right the second time. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Right guys, coming in with tip number 1 is obviously the entire map is indoor. Now what you want to do is, you want to disregard all of these top sensitivities. Your third person sensitivity, your iron sight, lower powered scope will obviously remain the same. It'll be exactly the same, your high powered scope, blah blah, if you do want to snipe on the new map. But what I do recommend you do is change your indoor sensitivity ratio, because it'll automatically be at 100 when you first start. And I found it really difficult to do most of the rest of the tips in this list, or just play in general. There was a lot of times I couldn't turn, or it was too slow or stuff. So I recommend you bump it up to 150 roundabout. I mean, obviously edit it yourself if it's too fast or too slow or whatever. You can probably put it on 100% if you really want to. It depends how you play it. But I recommend you change it to about 150, that's what I use anyway. Right guys, coming in for tip number 2. Now, the first person map is not the third person map. It's not open plain, there's not like mass fields and hills to hide on. It's all close quarters. And as a result, I recommend you do choose close quarters weaponry. Now my favourite one, of course, is the SMG5. You can put frontal conflict on, or you could just leave it ADS. And of course, the Deluge is very, very popular for it right now. And of course, you can use AKM, AR-17s. You can even use the MG249. I've seen a couple of people use that with frontal conflict on, just spraying everyone who goes near them. But for speed, I would recommend the SMG5 with at least light stock on, which I don't have on that one. I don't think I've got on any of them, if I'm honest. The light stock obviously stops the gun from reducing your movement speed. You want to be fast on your feet. You want to just dart around shooting everyone you see. And of course, that one's good for hip fire and ADS, as is the Deluge. Right guys, tip number 3 is, don't forget that this new map has got 3 floors to it, right? Imagine risky containment or research centre and stuff where you've got the ground floor, the first floor and the second floor. It's exactly the same, except the whole map is 3 floors. So you have to be very, very vigilant when you see footprints or you hear gunshots or whatever on the map, because it's not always on the same floor you're on. Now, you're coming towards a door, you see footprints ahead of you. Chances are there's probably somebody on the other side of that door, but don't forget that there might also not be as well. You have to take that into consideration when you're running around, because obviously there's stairs all over the map. You need to watch for people coming up and down stairs constantly. Elevators, holes in the ceiling, stuff like that that can drop down at any point. So even if you can't see the person, if he's not on the same floor as you, just make sure you make a mental note of the direction that they're in, just so that you can avoid them if you really need to. Do you know what I mean? Right guys, as you can tell, none of these points are in sync with the video. This is just gameplay. I'm basically talking about gameplay I recorded earlier. Now number 4 is don't rush stairs. Now by what I mean is, when you come to some stairs, you need to change floor, whatever, you're following your marker for the escape point. Don't just blindly run down straight out at the bottom, or blindly run up straight up at the top. Always check where you're going first. Have a look around. Just make sure that you're not getting camped, because yes, there's more campers on third person. They peek the corners, they sit on corners waiting for you to come past and stuff like that. There's a lot on this one as well. They'll sit at the top of stairs, they'll sit slightly off the top of stairs, or they'll camp a doorway at the bottom of the stairs waiting for you to run down to gun you down. So just make sure you're a bit more stealthy on the stairs. You can see there, I was checking that stairs as I came down and I sort of spotted him like on the left there. Obviously he tried to run away, but not everyone will. Obviously he didn't have a gun, so that's probably why. But anyway, just make sure you're a bit more vigilant with the stairs. Don't get caught off guard thinking, wait, I can't see footprints, there's nobody here, because there's still campers in this map and they still will get you if you're not careful. Well guys, you'll notice a lot in this video. My camera is constantly flicking left and right. As I come around corners, I check corners constantly. There's always a camp, well, there's not always a camp around a corner, but there can be. First person is one of them modes where you can just sit somewhere in a corner, you can see in front of yourself, and nobody else can see you. They can't peek around the corner without physically coming around, so people will just sit in a corner for you to run past and kill you. So make sure when you're running around, just check the corners as you go. Quick little flick in the direction. You don't have to turn around completely, you just use the corner of your screen to have a look. Just make sure nobody's sitting in the corner waiting to ambush you, because it's probably one of the most worst things that can get you killed. You'll be thinking, why didn't I just look? In at number 6, guys, is to periodically check behind yourself. You might notice quite a lot in this gameplay when I'm running around, I'll keep checking behind myself, especially in corridors or open areas, because obviously there's no eye to look around yourself. You have to physically turn around yourself and look around. It makes sense that people will be coming from all directions. Just watch for people. Constantly look behind you. You never know when someone's sneaking up on you to try and kill you. Just be careful. Make sure you check your rear, check your corners, like the last tip. Just constantly be aware of your surroundings, because obviously third person is a lot easier to check for people than it is on this mode. So guys, I've mentioned this tip in quite a few of my tip videos, which is don't loot for too long. It's a bit obvious on this map, especially. If you've just killed someone, or you spot some gear lying on the floor, you haven't really got much yourself, just don't spend too long sitting on the bag thinking, right, I'll have this, I'll have that, I'll put this down, I'll sort this here, I'll put this in my safe slot. Pick everything up, run to a safe spot, and then sort out your loot. And if you need to, go back to the loot bag, because there's no possible way to see around yourself when you're looting on first person. That guy in the corner there, probably waiting. Anyway, there's no possible way for you to really spot people when you've got your loot bag up. You see, I'll just quickly have a quick look, and I'm aware. I'm constantly watching the footsteps in the hours. I think he's above us, but anyway. Just don't look for too long. Make sure you're constantly on the move. You don't want to get caught standing still, crouching still, lying on the floor still. People will spot you and they'll end you within a split second of seeing you. Right, in at number 8, guys. This one is a bit of a dodgy one. Now, there's 2 elevators on the map, and they can go from floor 1 to floor 2 to floor 3. They always go up or all the way down. Now, I'm going to tell you not to trust them, right? Get in them by all means, move up between the floors and stuff, but if you see a closed elevator, that means one of 2 things. Either the elevator is on a different floor, there's nobody in it, or somebody is coming to that floor that you're on. So just be wary of the elevator doors that are shut. Remember to watch them. Don't think, right, it's shut, nobody's there, because somebody could be on the way. There's loads of times I've been near the elevators, watching footsteps from another direction, and then the doors open behind us and they've killed us. You've no idea how many times that happens. Just be wary of the damn elevators, especially if the doors are shut. If the doors are open, I mean, you've checked inside, there's nobody there. But just watch any other time. Of course, definitely, if you're next to one that's open and it shuts itself, that means someone's called it and someone's bound to come up. You can camp the door, whatever, catch them unaware on the way out. Right, so guys, you'll see in the video now, I've already been at the escape point, and now I'm checking the area around it. Now, people will camp on the point and they'll camp nearby, or they'll do what I'm doing, which is run around in circles around it until the point opens. Now, you don't want to go to the escape point and sit, because someone with silent boots or whatever will just come waltzing in, find you camping, bang, you're dead. You want to be constantly on the move, constantly checking around for people coming to the escape point as well. You don't want to be caught idle, essentially. You want to be the one that finds other people caught idle, or finds other people waiting for it to open. just make sure you check absolutely everybody. Every nook and cranny around the escape point can have someone potentially waiting. Of course, when you go to escape as well, make sure you check every single entrance or exit constantly while you're escaping. You'll see on this video towards the end where I just constantly, I'm crouched, I watch the two entrances constantly. I don't like sort of, where I'm escaping, that's it. I constantly check for people coming. This is the last tip I'm going to give you on this video, right? And that's at least try and find one stack of cash. Now, you might notice in this video I've found about 3 or 4, something like that. But there's always 2 escape points on the map. One will be free and one will cost 1,000 cash. So if you can't get to the free one, always make sure you've already got the cash for the final one. So if you think, right, the free one's camped, there's no way I can get in there without dying, I'll go to the other one. At least then you're not constantly searching for the stack of cash. Try and make that your priority, even if you kill someone and take their cash. Just try and make sure you've got that one stack of cash. Obviously this escape point didn't require any cash, and I escaped quite easily, but some do, and some, you know, if you can't find one, you're just going to time out on the map and die. Anyway, so make sure you find at least one. If you see one, run for it, pick it up, make sure you've got it. Right guys, in conclusion, if you have enjoyed this video, I hope it helps you. Please do leave a like. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. And make sure you like the video, because I am putting this in the video contest. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.